Hi friends, good morning. Thank you all for being with us, and once again welcome you all back to our channel. So we are here to share some more details about our continuation from the last topic what we have discussed. And definitely these days are very important days for all of us, and we are trying to improve the training qualities, training methodologies, and trying to reach the content of industry to everyone through different methods. So once again welcome you all back to our session, and like our previous sessions, you all be knowing that we have done the last week we have given with BIM and everything, BIM mechanical, and many live sessions we have started. Hope you all are watching all those live sessions, and definitely it will be a very informative sessions for you all. And today I am here in front of you to share something about why everyone prefer Revit for implementing BIM. So that is what our main concern, or why we are here today. So hope all of you who are watching this video might be knowing about what is BIM and what is the concept of Revit and everything. And definitely many of us have different questions or different doubts regarding what is the purpose of, or what is the difference between Revit and BIM. Definitely I had many questions from different people who were asking that what do you mean by Revit, or what is BIM. Somebody understands that if you know Revit, you are expert in BIM, or is it like that, or like the way we will see how to proceed with all those things. Okay. And one more thing before starting, I just want to tell you something, and in between if you have any questions you want to ask to me, you can directly use this chat box from here. Live chat is available, so we can share the discussions. Definitely I want to make this as a discussion session, or it is not just like, I don't want to be a single site interaction. So please be with us. And definitely hope you remember last day or last Monday we discussed about BIM, and we were discussing many factors or many areas of BIM and how to proceed with the softwares and everything. Today we have to discuss more about what is the main role of Revit in BIM. Okay, so before starting that concept, I just want to show you some simple theoretical part for how we need to get into this one. And also I just want to share one more thing. Definitely I hope this video or this live session will be more beneficial for those who are trying to enter into this field, especially the beginners or the people who are trying to upgrade your profession to BIM. Because everywhere when you go to this projects or job, or what we can say is many job opportunities are there for BIM, and somebody asks you whether you are a BIM coordinator or BIM modeler or architectural BIM coordinator, or like the way many areas are there. But we need to understand what is the main role of all these people, or what they are mainly expecting, what they are expecting from you people. So that is why we are just moving on to our session. So thank you. Okay, so from here you can see in my screen, you can see that as a iceberg, right? It is we from in the somebody is looking from, you have to see that these many areas are there underneath of that, and that is why, and there comes the role of a people who need to understand what exactly the BIM is, or what is the role of Revit in BIM. So that is why if you can read there, it is 2D, 3D and basic quantities. And in terms of a general or common people, what you can see is this is just the outer idea of, or outer picture what everyone are getting. But behind the scene, there are certain detailed procedures or detailed activities happening, including thermal studies, which means we have to understand whether it is energy efficient or energy and how the energy concept is carried out there, whether the model that we are preparing is constructible or the constructability of the things, and what are the prefabrication data, and complete analysis related areas which you are going like a scientist into that project. Which means if you are into that project, you should know each and every nook and corner of that building. Okay, so that is why we need to understand the concept of BIM. And hope you remember in the last video I have explained what this cycle was, right? From where it should start, and from the where it should start and where it should end, and how that complete procedure works out as what the same picture which I shown you in the last video tells. And now today I just want to tell you something where Revit is playing his role at each of the stages and how we need to get into that track. Okay, so that is what we need to understand. And as you remember in the last sessions, we also discussed that BIM is not just software. Hope you are recollecting me, right? So BIM is not just a software, or it is nothing like an item. What was it? Hope you remember. Somebody remember? We can recollect that it was a process, and definitely it was an intelligent model based process. So in BIM process, you are using a model which is commonly taken from Revit, and that is why Revit is more relevant when you are considering the BIM implementation. Okay, so now if you go into the site, now I am taking you a little more into the procedure, and if you can see in my picture, this is the evaluation towards a new design process, or how a BIM is properly implemented there is what you can see there. And as you all know, what lies there is, for any project you will be having architectural, you will be having structural team, you will be having MEP team, and finally in this BIM platform, each 3 discipline people will submit their model to prepare a drawing set which can be used for construction. Hope you got the point. From architectural consultants, they will prepare a BIM model. That is what I was trying to tell, which means you wanted to prepare a BIM model using Revit software, or may I ask you, is it Revit only the software which is involved in BIM? Definitely not. Okay, it is not only Revit, many softwares are there, but from all the softwares we need to understand Revit is one of the major or commonly used software what everyone needs. So that is why this is more relevant. Okay, so as you can see in these 3 pictures, these 3 discipline people, what they are doing is they are preparing the Revit model or BIM model and getting all the things into action, and later preparing a proper drawing set which is required or which is useful for the construction, and definitely that is what taken to contractor. So next question arises, that is it necessary that consultants only required to know Revit, or contractors also need to know Revit? Am I clear? Is the software Revit used in the preliminary stage or in the execution stage, or in between is it useful? So there, in that question, what we need to understand is that if you are working in a BIM platform, you need to understand, or everybody who are involved in this construction procedures should know the concept of Revit. Why? Because Revit became a common language for BIM. We can say like that. So that is why if you go into detail, we need to understand what we get from Revit. Okay, what are the major outputs that we get from Revit for implementing this properly? So if you can see this picture, you can see you are going to prepare a smart digital model. You will get the complete data of the model from your Revit model or BIM model, and definitely they will find out the clashes and they will correct it properly, and then they will give it to you. Okay, that is with the clash detections. And if you look at the right side of the screen, you can see BIM levels and dimensions. That is again a big topic that we need to discuss in the coming sessions. What do you mean by the dimensions of BIM, and how to manage different dimensions of BIMs and everything. And in that situation, you need to understand how I can present the model in different dimensions for the BIM. Okay, and definitely the next point comes is parametric design. We will see what all things are that. And then definitely computational design. Okay, don't worry by seeing all these terms. Okay, it is very simple, but still if you are in the industry, you should know all these concepts. Okay, so now if you see, what do you mean by a smart digital model? Smart digital model means what? Whatever you are modeling in BIM, each and every information of every item that you are using in BIM will be documented, or it is documented in your Revit model. Okay, and then what you can see, clashes. This is one of the major headache for everyone. There can be different kind of clashes in different disciplines, different sub-disciplines as well. So what we need to understand, when you are submitting your model or when you are submitting your drawings for the industry, for the site execution, it should be completely clash free. And for that purpose, Revit will help you a lot. A lot means a lot to make it proper, provided you are expert in Revit. Okay, you should know the core concept of Revit, otherwise it will be little bit very confusing for you. So that is why you should understand the Revit in such a way that you are touching the core of the software and then implementing it. Okay, and also, as I told in the last class, it is not just like a simple software, you are being a part of something. Okay, so that is what clash detection. There you can see a steel beam is passing through a stair landing. So this is what you can see, the clashes, and they are displaying it in that manner. Okay, and then comes parametric design. Parameters means what? Each and every measurements or ideas or detail about every part of an object is displayed there. And definitely you cannot do any kind of manipulations using Revit, which means whatever you are creating, that will be completely executable, or that should be executable. Okay, it is not just like you can close the eyes, or you can just do or write whatever you want and then submit. It is not like that. You whatever you are preparing, that should be efficient, or that should be perfect. Okay, and that point is what makes Revit more intelligent in the industry. Okay, and now definitely, as you know, schedules are one of the main important thing, which means the complete quantity or complete document of complete procurement data of whatever you have modeled is what you can see there. And definitely this will take you to this, to take you to an area like what is the purpose of Revit and how we will get everything with Revit. Okay, I hope whatever we have discussed till now was clear for me, clear for you. And definitely we have discussed from the beginning, once the consultant got the drawing, Revit plays a vital role from there itself. Okay, and now from the previous slides you have seen what parametric design, schedules, and many points were vital there. And now I am taking you to the software, and we will see how all these things will make applicable in the software. Okay, and now if you can see my screen, hope you all can see my Revit, right? Yes. Okay, so from this screen this is just a sample interface of Revit, what you can see there. Okay, sample interface of Revit means whatever you created or whatever model you are preparing, that is what you are seeing there. And now I am taking you to an architectural model. Hope you can see this model, which is completely done in Revit, and definitely this is the interface of Revit you can see. And if you are just orbiting your window, what you can see, you are able to see each and every part or each and every portion of your building from this view itself. Okay, and moreover you can prepare separate interior as well as exterior views, which you can even take for major execution or major questions or major rendering part and everything. And even you can see different exterior views, and whatever the client need, that you will be getting from this window. So this is from the presentation purpose, and if you are going to the detailing purpose or execution side, you can even get this plan. Okay, plan at entry level, plan at the furniture layer, and how the floors are created, and what all things per drawings. It can be plan, it can be ceiling plan, it can be section, it can be elevation, whatever you need to take it to the industry. Though picture here, this gives you the complete application of MEP in that same architectural building. Did you get my point? What I was telling is, first of all, the architectural consultant will prepare an architecture model, and later with that reference, MEP or the structural team will be preparing the structural or MEP items with reference to that software, that file. Okay, so that is what this area will be using, the same application for making their drawings or making their layout much more executable. Okay, so here you can see this is the HVAC design or MEP layout, what you can see there, and all the layouts, even the lighting detailing. Say for example, if I want to see how they have defined the lighting area or lightings in the drawing, see what you can see there. They have the MEP or electrical team have created their electrical design from this architectural model. Okay, the same way if you go to the piping area, see what you can see there, how the pipe is transferred or how it is passed through your drawing is also mentioned there, which means each and every part or each and every discipline are properly maintained using your Revit model, which is only possible using this Revit concept. Okay, if you are working with AutoCAD, I think most of people who are viewing this video might be using AutoCAD as their one of the major tool for using all these things, right? So in Revit, you will be dealing with only the two-dimensional drawings, and now when you are taking or when you are coming into the BIM platform or the Revit layout, you are taken back to a completely different scenario. Different scenario in the sense, it is completely live, it is completely prefer Revit. Definitely you need to understand, you need to go much more seriously with the software, only then you can make it executable. Okay, so this is what you need to understand when you are dealing with whatever items those are available in the project. Okay, this is the site, what you can see where your building is going to be constructed. Okay, so whatever services that you need to run under the site, and how you need to understand, how you need to make the gradient of the site properly, everything is maintained properly from there. Okay, and also if you want to find some kind of height properly, see I need to find what is the height of this area, this point. So what you can do is, if you can go to this spot elevation option, you can directly catch what is the height at that particular location. And definitely, as I mentioned before, you are playing in a 3D environment, which means you are completely live here. Okay, and let me do one thing. If I am selecting this particular area, I need to see that furniture detail only. Say for example, I am selecting that furniture details and I just clicked a small option, and then what you got from there, you got that particular entity only. And if you want to see what is that or what are the information of that particular item, you can see this is a dining table of diameter 915 mm, and the base material is created using wood, and top material is prepared using laminate. And like the way each information about the material or about the project part is prepared properly for understanding the concept of BIM model. And definitely I just want to inform you one more thing. If you are working in BIM, you need to understand what all details of the objects you have to present. Okay, it doesn't mean all ideas or all informations you don't have to present in your model. You have to present only the thing which is needed for the industry, and especially you might be knowing about the specification sheet of all the equipments, even the nut and bolt, even the connection particles if you are considering the structural part. Even those things are also mandatory, they are also properly maintained in your model. So that is why I want to introduce a small term to you as LOD. Did anybody here heard anything about LOD, which is one of the major point what we need to understand when you are working with BIM. Okay, LOD means level of detail. In Revit's language you can see level of detail, but if you are considering in terms of BIM, you can define that LOD as level of development, level of definition. Like the way different area LODs are explained in different ways. If you are going with some detail about the BIM, you can understand all those. What do you mean by level of definition? What do you mean by level of development? Or what do you mean by level of detail? Okay. But today I am taking you only to level of detail. Okay, level of detail means what? If you are seeing this image, this object, even each and every smoothness and all the minute details you can see. Okay, so LOD means how far you are presenting the detail of your model. Okay. If you are looking for a general settings of LOD, you can understand that it starts from LOD 100. Okay, which means just a representation, which represents there is some objects like that. Say for example, if I want to present something here, some furniture I need to present here, how will I present here is, say for example, consider I have a chair here. So what I'm going to do, I'll be just placing some objects just like that. Okay, see what you can see, this is what I have prepared. I didn't inform what the object is. I'm not mentioning what is that object or nothing I'm mentioning about that, but still there is some item. Okay, then gradually when you increase the detailing, you can just present little more detail about that object, which means it can be a pillar or it can be a table or it can be a chair. Like the way finally you have to prepare a BIM model which is up to the as-built level. So for all of you who wanted to know more about Revit, I just want to tell something. Whenever you are learning Revit, I wanted you to tell us you should focus more on implementation of model by specifying the detail of modeling, especially level of detail, which means you should consider or you should be able to prepare a model up to LOD 500. Okay, and definitely LOD 500 specification is explained for different projects in their manners. Like you need to understand what does LOD 500 meaning for that project. Okay, so for that you need to understand what BIM is. For that you need to understand what a BIM execution plan is. Like the way it keeps on going into detailing of your model. So that is why I just want to convey one more thing to you, is that don't consider Revit as a 3D modeling software only. Okay, because you are not going to model something as 3D in Revit. Okay, you are modeling that 3D in the first stage, and in the second stage what you are going to do is you are going to maintain the detail or maintain the complete layout with information of that object properly. Okay, complete information about that object properly. And definitely, if I want to see something related to say for example, I need to see what is there in the ground floor, floor number 2, how the 3D of my building is available in 3D in the level 2. See, these all are the details of my project in level 2. Up to what I have modeled only you can see there. Okay, up to what all you have modeled can only be seen there with material specification. Say for example, I need to see what material they have used for this floor. Say for example, let me select this thing, and definitely here you can see that is a floor. If you go into detail of that floor, what you can see, there is a layer for concrete cast in situ, there is a layer which is placed above that with the thickness of that, and again there is a layer of carpet. And if you are going into the detailing of that material property of that carpet, what you can see, this is how they have maintained. So this is the image what they have applied on that image, on that carpet, and definitely the complete information about the material. And even if you are taking some kind of say for example this ceiling ceramic tan or something, you will be getting mechanical properties and yield strength, tensile strength, and each and every information of the material also you will get from there. Okay, so this is what we need to understand when you are modeling or when you are starting work in Revit, especially you wanted to handle a BIM related project. Okay, so this is what you have to understand the concept of Revit and related queries and everything. Okay, and now definitely, as I mentioned before, this Revit software is used for both architectural and structural and even MEP. And definitely, if you are going into detail of structural, you can even provide the reinforcement and the steel connections. And definitely, we will be coming with all those structural related informations in coming sessions. But still, I wanted to give you an idea regarding that. In Revit, if you are modeling something related to this BIM, you can prepare each and every information about this thing properly. Okay, and if you wanted to know something related to the MEP related items or MEP related activities, you can even go to that as well. And definitely in the coming session, like especially tomorrow we will be coming with you with more details about MEP as well. So you will be getting a more clear idea regarding how MEP works and how what are the major applications of MEP and related stuffs. Okay, so today what we planned was to get you an idea regarding how Revit works or what is the role of Revit in BIM. Okay, and as I mentioned before in the previous file or previous presentation, you have seen this cycle, right? So conceptual design, detailed design, analysis, in each and every area their reference will be Revit. Whoever are involved in this modeling, they will refer to Revit for getting more clear idea or more information about how that works. Okay, and definitely once you are into that area, as I mentioned in the first session, the demolition, at what stage you need to demolish the building and how you need to understand, how you need to redesign, everything can also be maintained using your software Revit. And so the model which you are preparing will remain forever. Forever means even if you after your time the next generation comes to the industry, and when they are going to do the renovations and related redesigning and everything, they can easily accept your model. And you might be knowing many big projects now around the world, they are going to redesign or they are going to prepare a new BIM model for that projects. which is already existing now. Okay, so what is the purpose of preparing a new BIM model is that you need to understand how the facility management and how the operations are maintained properly. Okay, so these are the major things what I need to tell you with the Revit concept. And definitely when you work or when you start using Revit, you will understand how all these things work. As I mentioned before, you can see the quantities, you can see the time relations, and in the coming sessions we will be coming you with different topics where you can add even the timelining, project planning and everything. So you will get more idea regarding how to execute a complete process, complete building construction or a building information modeling process from start till, actually it's not ending, right? It's not ending, it is being continued, and operational maintenance, it's keep on carrying out. Facility management, every areas you will be getting a clear idea. So that is what we need to understand or we need to give you for today. And definitely once you understand or once you are into the main area or mainstream of Revit, you will be getting a clear picture. And definitely one more thing I need to give you, or I need to just share my experience from what I have gone through is when you are involving or when you are going into the area of BIM, you have to understand each stages you are responsible. If you are a BIM modeler, if you are a BIM coordinator, or if you are a BIM manager, or whatever it may be. See, for just an information I have to tell you is that the BIM modeler for architectural design, his main role will be modeling an architecture model, just like what you can see from this screen. Okay, you have to prepare a BIM model like this. The same way, if you are a BIM modeler for structural people, structural consultancy, you will be asked to create a structural model only. Okay, and the same way in the MEP, you will be modeling MEP related modeling only, but the main role or the main main scene is being taken by a person called BIM coordinator. So coordinator is a person who is taking all these three disciplines files together and make sure when these three disciplines are maintained properly, there are no clashes that will come in the industry or come in the site. Okay, so in order to understand that area, you need to go or you need to understand Revit properly, because especially after many more experience in your industry, you will be designated to higher level. Okay, just like managers or coordinators or the team lead especially. So once you are at that level, still if you don't know the basics or the detailing part of the modeling sessions, then it will be a big task for you to carry out that project. Okay, so that is why even if you are involved in any stages of project, you should understand how Revit works with its maximum detailing. And then once you know all these concepts, use it logically with its requirement whenever or wherever it is needed. Okay, so it will be much more beneficial for you to understand the concept of BIM. So I think with this we can have a small winding up for today's session, and definitely I know this didn't go to much more detail. We just covered only a outer area of how the Revit is used in BIM, and in the coming sessions we are planning to give you a little more live demonstration of BIM development or BIM development project, so that it will be much more interesting for you to understand how whatever we discussed today. Say for example, today I talked about scheduling. Okay, so in future sessions we will explain how the scheduling works, or what is the major application of scheduling into the industry, or how it is useful for everyone. Okay, so definitely we will be coming you with more topics. So thank you so much for being with us, and stay tuned. And definitely one more thing, tomorrow we will be coming you with a new topic from Revit MEP, and definitely tomorrow Indian time 11 o'clock AM and UAE time 9:30 AM. We will be coming you with Revit MEP session from Mr. Ashwin. So he will be explaining you the complete application or how to get into Revit MEP and BIM in the industry. So definitely it will be an informative session for you all, and hopefully you enjoyed. And once again, thank you so much for being with me, and have a good day. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You.